It's like a quiz. What's bigger, San Antonio or San Diego?
I don't know. San Antonio?
No, San Diego. And every time I ask someone that question, they get it wrong. But if you were to ask a European, they'd always get it right. They haven't even heard of San Antonio. The point is, sometimes having too much information can, get in the way.
Right. Like a stranger's perspective might see things more clearly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then, since we just met, maybe you can give me some insight into this day I've been having.
Bad day?
Not really a bad day. It's just one of those weird days where you feel like you've reached a moment of clarity and no one else seems to get it. And it makes you think you're maybe the one who's kind of nuts.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so it started this morning. I was reading this book for this play I'm helping produce. It's on the French military. Anyway, I came across this wild story. It's supposed to be true. These soldiers are hiking in the Pyrenees and they get lost. No maps, no food, no radio equipment. And they wander around for a little while and then they give up. They sit down, basically. They've lost all hope. But one of them finds a map scrunched up at the bottom of his pack. And they use it and they find their way out of the mountains. And the thing is, it's only when they get out of the mountains that someone really looks at the map. And they see it's actually a map of the Alps, not the Pyrenees.
The story really struck a chord with me. And I got this burst of energy, so I decided to return the sweater my ex-girlfriend had left in my apartment ages ago. I've been meaning to return it for months. And she lived right next to my set designer, who I've been meaning to visit too.
Hey, I'm just heating up some leftovers.
Yeah, what'd you make?
Puttanesca. Came out to all of you though.
I'm sure it's great.
Never thought I'd see that sweater again.
Well, it didn't really fit me.
She gave us your sister. How is she anyway?
She moved to India, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, how are you? How was work?
Work's good. Everything's good.
Cool. Great.
I heard this crazy story this morning.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a story about these French soldiers who get lost in the Pyrenees and they don't have any maps, no food. And at the last minute, one finds a map buried at the bottom of his backpack and they follow it, they get out of the mountains. The thing is, when they get out, they realize that it wasn't actually a map of the Pyrenees. It was a map of the Alps.
So, why were they traveling without a map anyway?
I don't know.
Try this.
It wasn't so Olivey, but sometimes she says stuff like that just so you tell her it's great. Anyway, the thing that struck me was I thought maybe something about the way she responded to this story actually summed up our ultimate incompatibility. Far-fetched, right?
Maybe.
But then I thought maybe not so far-fetched. Maybe I was onto something universal. Maybe you can actually tell a lot about someone by the way they respond to the story. Anyway, after I left my ex's, I had to go meet up with the set designer to hear about some details. I've been putting off the meeting for a while, but I was actually starting to get kind of excited about the project again.
You hadn't called so long, I kind of got to thinking you found somebody else to do the job already.
Yeah, I guess sometimes it just takes a little while for your artistic vision to come together or something.
Well, it takes a little while sometimes.
Can I run a random story by you, Lori? I decided to tell her the story. So it turned out the map was actually of the Alps.
Oh, that's great. You should put that in the play. I just got this foam that would be really great for mountains.
That's a really good idea.
It was a bad idea. But her set ideas were great. Is this boring?
Yeah.
Okay, it's almost over. So I ran home, I changed, and then I head out to this party.
But I still had the story in my head. And so after I told it to the first girl, I decided I'd tell it to all the girls at the party, just to see what they would say.
I mean, I think you just have to follow your heart.
So these French soldiers, right, and they're hiking in the Pyrenees, and they get lost. Totally lost, like no maps, no food,
That's crazy.
no anything. They're basically expecting to die. At the last minute, one of them finds a map in the bottom of their pack.
I think it's kind of funny.
I'll be glad when he's gone.
And they use the map to find their way to the mountains.
I took European history last semester.
The crazy thing is when they get out, they realize
So, you're really smart, huh?
turns out it's not actually a map of the Pyrenees. It's a map of the Alps.
Wait, why are you telling me this again?
So I got tired of the party and I left. I wandered around for a little bit and I wound up here.
So that's it.
That's it.
You're not going to ask me what I think about the story.
I was gonna tell you this other story. About getting lost in the Andes.
The Andes. I think I know that story.
Yeah. You do?
Yeah, you know, 3 guys get lost in the Andes.
Right, it's the Peruvian farmers. You've got Jose, Miguel, what's the other guy's name?
Jorge.
Right, Jorge.